developing the store, both brands. I think it's really cool. I think you guys are actually the only franchise partners that we have that have kind of done all of that. So I think it's pretty cool that we're sitting here. Just to take us back a couple minutes, when you guys decided to make the acquisition of your Clean Juice location, why did you guys do that?
Well, I actually had a pretty good relationship with the previous owner. She was coming into my former employer, the Hartford Insurance, to bring in products for lunches, just to offer something better to people there than what was in the cafeteria. So we struck up a relationship probably over a year and a half, and we just had a conversation about, tell me about being a franchise owner of Clean Juice. Jill had nothing but great things to say, because we were starting to go down that path of, we wanted to do something different, right? And we've always been very keen on things that improve our health, make us healthier. And one of those things was, starting down the path of eating more organic, and Clean Juice was that. We visited the Clean Juice store. It's really down the street from where we live, pretty much multiple days per week. And it just made sense for us to navigate this further and see if it was a possibility for us. It just lines up with all of our values. And there we are. We're now owning a Clean Juice store down the street from us.
That's awesome. Switching gears a little bit, you guys are also Free Coat Nails franchise partners. Free Coat, again, if you guys have never heard of Free Coat, just check us out online, freecoatnails.com. We do a non-toxic kind of beauty bar. We focus on nails, so pedicure, manicure. We have a lot of different kind of beauty options, but what's really cool about what we've done is we've made it very clean. We've taken out all of the kind of chemicals and the toxins in that brand, and I really feel like Free Coat is the brand of the future. We're excited about that. You guys clearly feel the same way.
Absolutely feel the same way. And I would say there's definitely a difference between the two. Clean Juice, we came in, we purchased already a business that was, I would say, a pretty well-oiled machine. And Free Coat, different story. We came in all the way soup to nuts of going from getting a letter of intent on a location all the way to a full build out during one of the probably toughest supply chain times that we've had. And there were certainly challenges with that, but obviously we came through, got through all of that. We're operating store. We opened on March 7th, and things just continue to get better and improve every single month. And we're just happy to be a part of ways to continue to help other people improve their health and understand better about what goes in and on their body.
That's awesome. And you guys have recently brought on, is it Miss North Carolina, right? For kind of a brand ambassador for your store?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That was just recently in the last month or so. And then we also work with Kyle Weatherman, who is a Xfinity driver, and his girlfriend. So they're also ambassadors for the organization.
Cool. So you guys are in Concord, North Carolina, kind of NASCAR race car kind of capital of the world, right? So we got a lot of those folks coming into our stores there. But it's really cool. I think what's really awesome about what you guys do is you're true to who you are and what you believe, but you also believe you can make a business out of it. And so, Clean Juice, obviously healthy food products, Free Coat, healthy beauty, right? Which is a huge segment that's growing. So that's awesome. And I think it's a really good kind of segue into kind of what we're going to talk about next. Because, kind of true to what we've been saying, you are an entrepreneur. You've opened, multiple businesses now that you believe in, right? You're not just opening businesses to open businesses, but you're opening businesses that check the box for you, right?
Yes.
That align with your values. And so, you being a kind of I'll say, quote, kind of gym rat, right? Guy who's worked out his whole life, personal trainer, obviously takes care of yourself, believes in healthy eating, believes in nutrition, believes in working out. You have founded Renegade. You have founded Exponent Edge. I want to hear all about what those companies do, what they provide, and how you think you're going to kind of change this market of home gyms, which I think is going to explode, especially kind of in this post-COVID era.
So Renegade was actually the first one to come about, and we are just, we'll say, officially launching right now. Just really started, and really what Renegade is here for is to help individuals through a home gym build process. Building a home gym, no matter how big or small the space is, my space is only 180 square feet. And I think there's also a misconception that you need tens of thousands of dollars to build a home gym, when in reality, you could start off with a nice gym for even something as small as $2,000.
Wow.
I'm kind of here to help individuals through decision making. It's very difficult, it's time consuming, and there's a lot of confusion when it comes to building a home gym, and I'm here to help with that.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, like I've been through kind of the process. I did it DIY, right? I did it on my own, kind of tried to piecemeal it together. It's still a work in progress, but you're absolutely right. Like, I think my home gym is literally like 15 by 15, if that. Maybe it's 12 by 12. I mean, it's pretty small, but I work out in there. I do, I get to hit every part of the body. It's pretty fantastic. And kind of to what you were alluding to earlier, like I don't have to drive the 20 minutes each way to the gym, right? All I have to do is walk downstairs, work out, walk back upstairs, shower, and get to work, So I save a lot of time there. Obviously, a little bit more of an investment up front, but gyms are expensive. The monthly memberships, I mean, they're going to range anywhere from kind of 20 to your big box kind of cheap gyms to couple $100 a month for some of the more, expensive ones. So over time, I think you're definitely saving money. And if you value your time, you're saving your time. So you're saving even more money. So I think there's a huge proponent there, and people are doing this, right? They are building their own home gyms. Tell us why you believe kind of Renegade is going to make waves in this marketplace, and how you guys are going to organize people to build their gyms kind of through what you're offering.
Yeah, so I've actually been building home gyms for people one-off on my own for a very considerable amount of time. It's probably been over the past 8 years. I've helped everyone from just casual strength trainees to Olympic weightlifting individuals, powerlifting, people that enjoy doing both weightlifting and cardio, something I did for a very long time. So I'm not just a weightlifter. I actually used to run some marathons and did both of those things at the same time.
So not just a gym rat.
Not just a gym rat. I would recommend that if you're going to do that, definitely get some help because those are very two difficult types of genres to combine together if you have goals for the two of them. And I just have industry relationships when it comes to the home exercise equipment side. And that allows me to not only help find you the equipment, but I can also help you get equipment to be the most cost effective for your space. So that all kind of comes together to help people build their home gym. And, anywhere from, like you said, both of us have a pretty similar gym size, between 150 and 200 square feet.
Yep.
Believe it or not, you can get a lot done in that amount of space.
Oh, yeah.
And all the way up to individuals that have about a 400 to 500 square foot space. Obviously, you can put a lot more in there.
Sure.
And different type of budgets, but those are the things that I'm able to do and accomplish for individuals when it comes to building their home gym. So
that's awesome. Very cool. So it's kind of like consultation, right? It's kind of like they come to you, they come to Renegade, they can put together their home gym. You guys can help them source the equipment, help them lay it out, right? And then you also have a bunch of blogs and a bunch of different videos on exercises. I mean, you guys are really kind of going after everything, right? In terms of the home gym space, like you want to help everywhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't just build home gyms for people. Like I mentioned before, I'm a certified personal trainer. So I've been training since I was 12 years old. So I've got 30 years of training under my belt. I design weight training programs. I have about 50 programs that I make for people. And just so everyone gets an idea, my niche is more towards the individuals that work out at home, have professional lives. They have children at home. Programs that are 45 minutes or less and work out anywhere from 3 to 5 or 6 days per week, because I know how busy their life is.
Yeah.
In that I don't have time to go to the gym, like you said, drive 20 minutes to and from and work out for an hour and a half. Next thing you know, you lost 2.5 hours of your day. You have responsibilities at home. So
you got to shower and do all that, right? So, I mean, it's literally can be like up to 3 hours of your day, right? We're only awake for 16 hours. So,
and if you have a family, do you really have time for all that? You probably find yourself missing workouts, not making as much as you want to. And if your significant other also goes, I mean, there's double the time. And like you pointed out with, the cost for a gym membership, there are the lower end gym memberships that can cost you $25 per month. But if you're going to a box gym and let's say you're paying $150 a month and there's two of you going, that's $300 a month. In all honesty, you just paid for an entire home gym in 1 year with 2 box gym memberships.
Right, exactly.
And it's paid off.
Right. And if you go the gym route, you got nothing to show for it after a year, right? I mean, obviously, if you used it, hopefully you made progress and you feel good. But in terms of asset allocation, you got nothing, right?
You got nothing. And just think about it, if you ever were to move from your home, you don't really have to worry about how close proximity the gym is to you. You can bring all of that with you. And you also always have the ability to upgrade over time. Even if you start with something smaller and you only have a couple of pieces of equipment, that next year comes by and you're looking to add another couple pieces, you can add another couple pieces. So it's something that can evolve over time.
So I'm going to play a little devil's advocate. Let's say I'm listening to this podcast. I'm thinking about building my own home gym. It's something I've wanted to do. Why would I come to Renegade versus kind of trying to do it on my own?
So I think some of the major benefits to working with Renegade is I know all of the exercise equipment manufacturers that are out there. When you are trying to
How many hours of research have you done personally? I know the number's insane.
It's going to be tough to really tell you, but at a minimal, hundreds of hours that have been put together. I've built, time-consuming Excel documents that has links to all the different products from different manufacturers. And I think a lot of individuals, when you work with them, get pretty astonished by the number of actual exercise equipment manufacturers that exist in the country and provide options.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
There's so many.
And Rogue is a great company, but there's more than just Rogue that's
Absolutely.
out there that can provide something that could be a better fit for your space or better tailored to your needs.
And your budget, right?
And your budget.
Yep.
And most people do not know very many exercise equipment manufacturers that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys have obviously the skill set, the expertise. You say hundreds of hours. I would, because you and I have talked about this before, I'd argue thousands of hours, right? You've told me before, like, man, I have spent in my free time, on a weekly basis, 30, 40, 50 hours a week researching this stuff. Mm-hmm. And that adds up quickly, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know about you, but I don't have 30 hours, in a month to give to researching a home gym or a year, right? So if I've never done this before, like when I did it myself, there's so many things that I wish that I knew when I was kind of building out my home gym that I know now, but a lot of mistakes that I made, stuff that I bought that I've ended up selling because I didn't need it all, and stuff that I wish that I had that I couldn't fit now, right? Because I have other stuff in there. So I think working with somebody like you, an expert, and I can call you that because I believe you've spent the time in the research developing and understanding what this business is. Working with you guys to really build this out and develop it, through your help and, getting really what I want and, avoiding some of the expense and some of the pitfalls when you're trying to go it alone.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, purchased stuff that I don't need. So I think one of the benefits is also you can learn from somebody who's made those mistakes, and I can walk you through that process. I mean, I haven't started with just one gym. I've had a gym, like I mentioned, since I was 22. That went from a detached garage when I moved all of my equipment from there to another house, was able to bring that much larger space. And then when we moved from that home down here to North Carolina, I've had to downsize that. So I've also been through the experience of taking a gym that was in a basement, probably around 500 square feet with lots of equipment, and know the ways to downsize that, yet still accomplish everything I was doing in that 500 square foot space now into a 180 square foot space.
That's awesome. So you've got kind of experience across the gambit when it comes to this. I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. Anything that's in the health and wellness space that's, getting people to eat better, work out more, get more sleep, get more sun, drink more water. I'm all about it. So I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. And I think it's a market that just continues to grow, right? How many people would you say out there currently work out in a home gym environment?
So the home gym environment, I would say right now we know is somewhere in the vicinity of about 20%
of the population
of people that work out. So either it doesn't even have to be solely at home either. I would say that 20% number equates to both those that solely work out at home, and then there's some kind of supplemental between a commercial gym and a home gym, and that number is soaring and continuing to go. And we certainly have some information and data around where we see this going over the next couple of years.
That's a lot, right? And to my knowledge, there's really no one that's providing what you guys are providing.
Not that I'm aware of.
That's awesome.
That's why I want to be able to help people.
Absolutely. Very cool. Jay Benoit, guys, founder and CEO of Renegade, but also kind of back to the equipment piece, right? Not only are you founder and CEO of Renegade, you are founder and CEO of Exponent Edge. Tell us about Exponent Edge, what it is, and how kind of your two companies are working together.
So I think my path down the exercise space as an entrepreneur actually started with Exponent Edge. It started with me trying to come up with a solution for a piece of equipment for my home gym about 6 years ago. I wanted to perform glute ham development exercises, but I really didn't have the space in my third stall garage for traditional GHD is what they're called. They are usually about 3 feet long by about 3 foot height, and they take up a lot of space. I didn't have that. So I was trying to find a solution around that outside of jimmying up a barbell behind a rack with weights on it on the sides to be high enough to put my ankles behind it. So I really, at that point in time, started to design what I call a wall-mounted glute ham developer. And that was really the start of everything down the path for me. It was really just wanting to do an exercise like this at home. There was nothing available at the time to perform an exercise that way. So I started to work with a NASCAR welder and got something put together. And now we're 5 or 6 iterations down the road to a final prototype that's now available. That is also morphed into another product, which is a rack-mounted glute ham developer. That's not available right now. Our wall-mounted glute ham developer is available for pre-order. Inventory is on its way. And there are a number of other products that will be coming out over the next coming months, with about 35 of them being engineered today.
That's awesome. So not only are you guys going to be consulting on how to build your own personal home gym, but you guys are also offering the equipment and some of the equipment at least to get people started. So that, yeah, there's a lot of different options out there for equipment manufacturers, but you've also found some areas where there's no, what you kind of just explained, there's nothing in the market, right, for the GHD that you just described, and some other products. So you guys are answering, kind of solving for that problem and answering that question as well.
Yeah, so I think it's important for a lot of individuals when you're going to come out as an entrepreneur or start a business. I think it's important to differentiate yourself. So what I mean by that is, in a lot of cases, I think you have to have something that can be a niche or offering something that others do not offer today. And over time, when you start with that path, you can obviously start to sell or do the things that other companies are doing, so long as you start with something that differentiates yourself in the marketplace. And this is what we're starting with, at least with the first few products that we're offering, is stuff that is different than what you can get today.
And that makes a ton of sense. So the first product that you just described, I want to kind of replay that a little bit because I want people to really understand what it is. So GHD, you said glute ham development, right?
Yes.
Tell us what that means.
All right. So glute ham development is really, it's an exercise that helps development strengthen your glutes, which is very popular nowadays, and also for your hamstrings. So this developed product allows you to train this at home. And the first set of equipment that you'll see from us is really going to be stuff that is compact, it's efficient, it saves space in your gym. Those are really the reasons why these first set of products were developed. If you have limited space, like I mentioned, you can't have this huge GHD in your gym.
Yeah.
These are ways for you to still perform those exercises when you're limited on the amount of space that you have, and to help hopefully save you some money in the long run as well.
Well, yeah, I think there's a ton of benefit. I think it's really cool what you guys are developing. Typically how people will develop kind of their glutes and their hamstrings. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, right? But squat is a big one, right? You squat down. People know that exercise. There's a lot of risk with squat. You know, you're loading up a ton of weight on the barbell, wrist to your lower back, right? So there's a lot of risk and injury. What I love about the GHD is that it can be completely weightless, right? It can be a body weight exercise. So even if you've never really kind of worked out, if you're scared of squatting, this can be a great way to develop kind of that, you know, posterior chain, the muscles, you know, kind of on your backside, from your glutes down to your hamstrings, and even really in your calves a little bit. I think it's awesome. So I think it's really cool. I've used it. I think it's a great piece of machinery, really well designed and developed. And so I'm a huge fan.
So am I. I mean, I've been squatting my whole entire life. I can tell you, I'm 43, so I've been squatting again since I was 12 years old for a very long time. I think every time I get under that bar, I just wonder, like, how long am I going to continue to heavy barbell squat for? I don't know when that day's going to end. I still love it today. Oh, probably always will. But the glute ham developer is, if you look at the research, it is one of the best exercises you can do for glute and hamstring development. There are others as well that are strong performers, like a Romanian deadlift is another really strong performer for your hamstrings. Yep. But if you want to combine both glute and hamstring development, there might not be a better exercise that exists out there.
That's awesome. And if you guys are listening and you have no idea still what we're talking about, we're going to link it. We're going to show you guys some pictures of it so you can see kind of this piece of machinery. We'll link some videos too around just what it looks like to do the exercise if you've never heard of this exercise before. I'm a huge fan, like I said, and I think it's pretty cool. And that, again, that's just one product that you guys have developed with Exponent Edge, right?
Correct.
Just
now,
one.
The one thing I would add to that is if you take a look at some of the video assets that I'll send your way, you can perform a lot more than just glue ham development on this apparatus. So on this device, you could perform crunches, and don't worry, there's a video that will show you how to do all of these things.
Yep.
You can also do planks off of this. I do probably the hardest quad exercise known to man, and that is Bulgarian split squats.
Yep.
The reason why I like performing them off of this versus putting my foot on a bench is I feel when I put my foot on the pad, the upper pad on the GHD, I cannot use my back foot for leverage. That makes the exercise a lot harder.
And it's more stable, I feel like, using the GHD versus just putting your foot up on a bench.
Yeah.
You're getting more stability.
I also find your foot can slip off the bench.
Exactly.
If it's not perfectly in the middle, right? So this
and
would
I've done
be,
that.
I think we all have.
Yeah. And Bulgarian split squats are horrific, but they're so good for you, right?
Yeah, it's like a love-hate, right?
Exactly.
It's probably one of the best exercises that you can do.
Yep.
If you go online and look up Bulgarian split squats, you'll probably just see everybody say how much they hate the exercise, but it's also an amazing one, especially if you want the weight off of your back.
Yeah.
It is an amazing exercise.
Start with no weight, right? You don't even need to hold dumbbells. Obviously, you and I are familiar with them. We hold dumbbells now, but people starting out, like, great exercise just to do free weight, right? Again, that's what I love about kind of what you're doing is you don't need to, you can buy thousands of pounds of weights and lift them, and that's great, but there's a lot of other kind of safer alternatives, especially for folks who maybe have a lower back injury or they're not, they don't feel comfortable with, a bunch of free weights and whatnot. So I think it's pretty cool what you're developing. And, obviously, if people are using free weights, you got a ton of resources for that as well.
Absolutely.
So tell us about some of the other products that you guys are developing with Exponent Edge. You mentioned 35, right?
35. I can't share them all today.
Okay.
Some of them are still in design.
Okay.
Some of them are patent pending or will eventually be patent protected. So some of those I can't share, but out of 35, I can certainly share a couple with you.
Okay.
So we already talked about the wall-mounted GHD.
Yep.
The other option is a rack-mounted GHD. That's really just the GHD that will be able to attach to a rack.
Yep.
That's coming out here very soon. We're testing prototypes. They're being manufactured, so not too long from now. I also have what I call a landmine jack. So there's a lot of people that use a landmine. It's actually a pretty good piece of equipment in a small space that allows you to do a lot of versatile type of exercises. And my landmine jack is really just something that helps get that off the ground. It helps loading a bar in a landmine to reduce some stress off of your back. Again, a way to help reduce pain or discomfort. But I also like it to where when I'm completing some exercises, I can actually set it back onto this landmine. And we're working on one that's a tilt. So think of it as our landmine jack, and what's different than what's out there is you could jump on ours, you could slam weight on the top of it, and the landmine jack's just going to laugh.
Pretty bulletproof.
Yeah, it's pretty bulletproof.
Basically bomb-proof.
Absolutely. So
awesome.
those are some of the things that we're working on. I have some devices that will be coming out to help calf development. There's not a lot of really good options to train your calves at home.
There's really not. Yeah.
So I have a patented wall-mounted calf raise device that it's been prototyped, and it's being tested by some other individuals, personal trainers that are out there today to gain some feedback. But you can obviously see a picture of that actually on my website, which is exponentedge.com, and also a floor calf raise device. So those are like 5 or 6 products. I've got a fold-away rack that's coming that's different than other fold-away racks that exist out there today.
That's cool.
And I'm also proud to really say that I'm working with a local company here in North Carolina. It's really in our backyard. It's ABT Metals out in Statesville. And I don't want you to think that I didn't do my research and make sure I tested and with a number of different companies across the U.S. They ended up being the best option for me because they are close and nearby, yet price competitive at the same time. So I'm going to give them a little props.
Love it.
They do a lot of help. Anytime they try to find some ways to reduce manufacturing cost, they have their engineer kind of reverse engineer or take a look at things to find ways to ultimately save the customer money in the long run. So
yeah, and American made, which I think is really cool, right? I mean, you could have outsourced a lot of the stuff to China, but you didn't, and you decided that you want to make it here in the U.S. And I think that there's something to say about that, and I think that that's pretty awesome. So, well, Jay, I mean, this has been fantastic. Congratulations on everything you got going on. Clean Juice franchise owner, Free Coat franchise owner, Renegade founder, Exponent Edge founder, and you do some other stuff. You're just insane. Maybe as insane as I am, so that's pretty cool.
Probably. Maybe that's why we get along.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome, dude. Well, you mentioned exponentedge.com. Tell us where people can find you on social media. Talk to us about the Renegade website, etc.
Yeah, so if you want to find me on home gym builds, it's renegadecore.com.
Renegadecore.com. Okay, we'll link that.
And then you can also find me on social for Renegades, all Renegade Core. So whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, whether it's TikTok, I will be honest, I'm not great at TikTok.
We're getting there.
So not that I'm great at any social to begin with,
Yeah.
but you can check me out there and see what I offer with exercise videos,
Yes.
how to use products that you may have at home or don't own today in an innovative way.
Well, that's, again, I love your social media because, you don't just, obviously you do some cool videos, but like you're putting out a bunch of educational content for free, right? Like if I've never worked out before, I can literally go to your Instagram and I can watch a personal trainer, right? Somebody who's certified literally in workout and show me the different exercises so that I can do them myself. And that's all free content. And I think that's really cool that you provide that. And it's something out there for people to learn. And again, it doesn't cost them a penny, which is really awesome.
Yeah, I think the best free stuff that you get from me outside of those videos is if you go to renegadecore.com, there is a free stuff page. Pretty self-explanatory, free
Yeah.
stuff. There's a number of ebooks on there, whether it's you're looking for chest exercises to be like 100 exercises for your chest. It's in there. If you're looking for exercises to use with a barbell across all muscle parts, it's in there. If you want to know how to build a home gym on a $3,000 budget, there's an ebook available for that.
I was going to mention that. I think that's really cool. So you put together, 25 pages, right?
Yeah, that's the ultimate home gym guide.
Yeah, and that's free.
That's
right?
free.
A 25-page ultimate home gym guide. You can download it literally to your computer and learn about how to build your own home gym. Obviously, we want you guys to work with Renegade, but they know their stuff. They're giving you this free content. Check out their website, renegadecore.com. Again, we're going to link all this stuff. But Jay's, obviously he's an entrepreneur. He's trying to solve this niche in this marketplace. But he's also a great resource. So connect with him, check him out, go to his websites. He's here to help, right? He believes in this stuff. He isn't doing this just to make money. He's doing it because he believes in it, and he wants to help you get more healthy, whether it's through food, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through diet. So check him out, connect with him. And Jay, man, it's been awesome having you in the studio. Thanks for being here. Again, Jay Benoit. I keep wanting to say co-founder, founder and CEO of Renegade. I'm a co-founder, so I keep saying co-founder. Founder of Exponent Edge, Clean Juice, Concord Mills, and Clean Juice Free Coat owner. Congrats, man.
Thanks, man.
A lot of cool stuff going on.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. Awesome, brother.
Thanks.